Hi, I'm Zachary Crawford with Complete Human Performance, and today we're going to go over how to do a front squat. It's very similar to a back squat, except that it's loaded in a different rack position. We're going to put it on top of our shoulders. We basically have two options that we can do for this rack position. One is a crossover, where you cross over and get your elbows high like this. Another is the Olympic positions, where you try to go up like this. You can do the Olympic position with varying numbers of fingers. If you're having trouble starting with it, I suggest just 2 fingers and no thumbs for hooking it. Let's go over the other one first, which is the crossover. Now, if you're doing a crossover for front squats, you always want to put your dominant hand under, because that way you can use your bottom hand to bolster your usually weaker non-dominant hand. So you want to go under the bar, like your Frankenstein, hands out. You want to catch it on your collarbones and shoulders, and depending on how big your delts are, it might not hit your collarbone that much. Then you want to put in your dominant hand, catch like the thumb and mid palm on it, and push down. Push down with your non-dominant hand. Get your elbows high, brace, unrack. And then you want to squat pretty much as normal. The weight is a little bit front forward, so you definitely don't want to lean over as much if possible. Want to brace. Now, if you're a more lanky individual, you might want to start going with your back. Start putting your butt back first, then really let your knees go forward, and then sit between them to try to maintain a more upward posture. Now, as you can already see, my shoulders are getting tired from holding a crossover. And that's the downside to the crossover. If you let your crossover drop really, really low, you'll start to feel in your biceps. If you go really heavy, you might possibly tear them. So you definitely don't want to do a whole lot of reps on something that you can't do a rack position for with a crossover. And the only reason people generally do a crossover position is they don't have the shoulder mobility to do an Olympic position. So if you can't do an Olympic position, do crossover to bridge the gap. But ideally, you want to be doing shoulder mobility work to try to get so that you can do an Olympic rack position. Now I'm going to go over how to do that now. I'm going to do it with just 2 fingers. It's very similar. You're going to catch it on the shoulders and you'll let those elbows go up. And your goal with both is always to keep those elbows up as high as you can. The second you let your elbows drop, you're going to start feeling in your biceps, possibly your pecs. And when you do that, it's going to make you really tired. It's going to make you pitch forward. So you want to pretend like your elbows are on puppet strings. You want to keep them up, and you superficially want to try to go even higher if possible, because once the weight's there, it's just going to even out and be not very high. So we're catch right here, right in the middle. Catch on the collarbone. Elbows high. Brace. Same thing. Just like that. And that's how you do a front squat.